Alright, we got a little bit more tweaking to do to get the cleanest playing possible done. Um, One of the things that happened around the 40-second mark of the previous video, I did go over what fingers to use throughout that last thing. So it was supposed to be fourth and first for the first bar, and then fourth and first again, third and first, and then the big important thing that was missed, second and first, not fourth and third. So this way all the pinky, ring, and middle finger get used almost equally, but also to hit some of the different stretches you would typically come across in the 3 notes per string scale shapes. So that we got to be extra careful with moving forward here. So if I end up talking about what fingers to use in the video, might be a good idea just like write down a note as to what fingers to use, or if I do my job better, you'll see things up here such as, well, yeah, like it says now. So I really want to make sure that doesn't happen again, because it is a setback. So fourth and first fingers the entire this entire line, so the first 4 bars, and then it goes between your second and third fingers for the last half. So the fingers to use are above each bar. Now, why? Why the first finger? Part of it was to make sure you could get almost equal use with the second, third, and fourth. Again, the pinky got extra work because of the difference, like the whole step stretch with the major third distance versus the minor third distance. Because again, when you're running through scales, 3 upper string scales, from the major scale anyway, those are the patterns you're going to end up hitting with your first and fourth finger, major third and a minor third distance. Anyway, right. The other thing that's important with doing the fingers that way is, again, your index finger has a lot of work to do when it comes to muting. So when you were doing like your third and fourth finger here, because like if out of context, out of like just like playing a thing, playing a riff, you could do it that way. But look what my index finger is doing while I'm playing it like that. Wait, that's not it. See, the index finger still stayed down, and what was happening in your video was this. It's like that index finger was flying up a lot. And we need to get that thing trained to stay down. Gotta get it to stay down. So that's why this week, I'm gonna have you really make sure that index finger stays planted on the D string. So we're gonna stay off the G string that sounds funny and stick with, yeah, just the D string. So again, really got to keep that index finger down, okay? I don't want it to come off that string anytime. At any point does that come off the string. So this way, you're getting used to keeping the finger where it belongs. So remember, you want to try and get, or not just try, but get the index finger up underneath the A string to make sure that stays muted well. And then it's got to cover the top 3 strings there so they don't ring out if you accidentally let go. Well, if you let go, then you have the chance of it ringing out. So we want to make sure you don't accidentally let go of the strings and have stuff ringing out. So we've got to make contact with it the whole time. So, going through this, watch my index finger. Now, normally, if I was just whipping through this, see, the index finger stays down pretty much anyway. If I was going really slow, So I do feel like the index finger just like really quickly letting go of the string and then right back down though, especially when I'm descending. But I mean, it's so fast, can't really tell if I'm even losing any contact with the higher pitch strings. So I'm just pointing that out so you know that, when you are playing things, just playing for the sake of playing, you may not have that index finger planted on certain things, but because we got something to fix here, and we got to get the technique better so we can do a lot more stuff. This is an instance where we are purposely planting the index finger the whole time because we got to get the muting better. Got to get the muting better and to control better and all that. So if that means you don't get too fast, that's fine. In fact, I just noticed the repeat signs on at the end here. In fact, really watch that left hand when you do the entire thing. And if at any point you notice that index finger comes off, try it again. Try it again. Do not continue on. So let's say you get up to like the fourth bar. Oh, you notice that happened? Well, what I want you to do is try that transition again. And just basically keep doing that anytime you notice the index finger comes off. Focus on wherever that transition was, like maybe the 6th to 7th bar. If that's when the index finger came off, go between those two bars a couple times, maybe 3 times. Make sure that the index finger stays down, and then go back to the start and try it again. All right, enough talking. Let's play 60 beats per minute. Holy crap, that's way too loud. Goodness. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. On 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, good old 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repetition. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. A little sharp on that bend. Oops. Okay. Well, I hope all that makes sense. So yeah, take your time for sure. Another piece of advice here to get the most out of this. I think this will be helpful. Don't use the metronome at first. learn the patterns, learn what it is, and just watch that left hand. Watch that index finger. Make sure it stays down. When you can start comfortably going back and forth on all this stuff, up and down. Why is somebody calling me right now? Oh my god. Nope. He missed his lesson. I can't answer right now. I'm in the middle of making yours. Anyway, where was I? Man, that threw me off. Right, I was saying, going up. Yeah, playing basically this thing here without the metronome first. Get used to, what the pattern is. Get comfortable with it. So this way, because if you try with the metronome first, it's probably going to be too much to think about, because you really got to focus hard on getting that technique down. And until this starts to feel more natural, like keeping the finger down, trying to go up in speed and all that stuff is, so too much to try at first. So, that being said, even if it like me is like the first day you don't even touch the metronome, that's fine. So get real comfortable with playing through that and keeping the index finger down. So you may even do stuff like maybe just focus on just a little bit at a time, even if it means just like kind of going between two bars. Again, without the metronome, just to get the feeling of this down. It's like... that's feeling pretty good. Work on maybe just a few at a time. You can even break it down or break it in half, like maybe work up the first half by itself, work up the second half by itself. That's fine. If you do that, let me think here. Probably best if you end it still with that transition. So if you work up one half at a time, would still hit this with your middle finger at the end, so you can practice that transition, and then working up the second half by itself. Just play it like you normally would here. So that's another thing you can do there. And then, so yeah, that's not a bad thing to do either, because it's going to feel different for your index finger when you are ascending, climbing up here, versus the descending stuff. So, not a bad idea to also split it in half that way. So, like step one, just get comfortable with the whole thing, making sure you keep that index finger down. You can just work on a couple bars at a time just to make sure any trouble spots are getting polished up. And then you might want to spend the first metronome day just working, one half at a time. So like maybe 10 minutes for the first half, 10 minutes for the second half. And then the next day you come in, try putting it all together. And again, like any time that you notice that index finger comes up, just polish up whatever area you're in on the exercise. And don't move on until it's definitely staying down. So hopefully this helps out and it works well. But yeah, index finger. So right now we're really in that process of training this guy to stay down and keep all the noise gone and quiet and all that stuff. So this way, because yeah, even when you're playing like really fast, that index finger is doing so much to stay down and keep all that stuff quiet. All right, any questions, let me know. I will see you again in your next video.